Joining me now is Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Thanks for being here this afternoon, sir.
Hi, Sandra. Great to be with you.
So what do you make of the criticism that you're hearing right now?
Yeah, we've heard from the same people for a long time, and they're just wrong about this issue, Sandra. The president is right. We need the wall. As I mentioned yesterday when I was actually on Fox as well, one of the reasons we need the wall, the president has said we're going to deport the criminals that are in this country illegally. We know, Sandra, from looking at case after case after case, that we deport them, they come right back, sometime within days, to commit more crimes. So you want to keep out the criminals. You want to keep out the drugs and the contraband. And then you find legal immigration reform so that people can cross who want to come into this country for the right reasons and the ones that we say we want in the country. Right now, it's still a wide open zone in many areas.
And I want to share with you what Texas GOP Representative Will Hurd is saying about the cost. He's saying building a wall is the most expensive and least effective way to secure the border. Big Bend National Park and many areas in my district are perfect examples of where a wall is unnecessary and would negatively impact the environment, private property rights, and economy. These are not light opinions, and they're really warning people of the state that this will damage the economy, this will damage their ability to do business, and it will be costly. Well,
Sandra, Congressman Hurd is a terrific congressman, and I support him, but I disagree with him in this instance. Look, I've been down on the border many times, Sandra, and folks who have never been down there don't realize in some places it's so narrow you could throw a baseball across it. Some of our crossings are literally you can wade across them. I mean, they're just 10 or 15 yards. You could throw a football short pass across them. Other areas are a little larger. But where we need the wall is mainly in our big cities, our big crossings, because that's where people cross illegally and they disappear into the city. So we need a lot of protection around our big cities. And then we need walls out in specific areas along the border where we know that a lot of crossings happen with drugs and criminals. But I do agree with the concept, and I don't know what the president's full plan is, but there will be places that we can do it with technology, with air cover, with cameras. We have 4,000 cameras on the border, so when you fly over, as I have before, in helicopters on the border, you can look down at the various paths coming over from Mexico in the more remote areas. So it will be a combination, if I were doing it, of wall, particularly in our cities. In other words, where you have major city crossings of populations of 100,000 or more, you need to extend those walls so that you're pushing people down to those remote areas, easy to spot from the air, easy then to signal to your Border Patrol or our state troopers on the ground to intercept those people crossing. We can do this. And by the way, the private property owners, I've talked to many of them. I have yet to talk, and I'm sure there are a few who are concerned, but I have yet to talk to anyone who doesn't want a secure border, and that includes their land. If they have fencing or technology or a wall, I think most will want to be involved, because up until just recently, until Texas put forth a big effort, they were being overrun. They were losing their property. They'd have to carry a gun to go out on their own property. It's very dangerous.
Well, I want to move on to another big concern in your state, and that is in the city of Austin, Texas, and the sanctuary city status. And the words that we heard from Austin, Texas Sheriff Sally Hernandez, saying, "I am following all state and federal laws and upholding constitutional rights to due process for all in our criminal justice system. Our community is safer when people can report crimes without fear of deportation." And of course, that is the goal of many that achieve the sanctuary city status, so that those people still come forward. Your thoughts and what you would tell, how would you respond to her on that?
Well, first of all, she is very liberal in her thinking on this issue, very clear. And my partner and Governor Abbott has made it very clear we're going to take money away from her if she does not follow the law. Under her guidance, for example, Sandra, someone could rob a bank multiple times and she would not consider that a crime to hold someone for. You don't get to select who you want to hold. You follow the federal law as well as our state laws, or you're going to lose federal funding from Trump and state funding from us. And we're going to be very strong about this, Sandra. We just began our legislative session a few weeks ago. We're going to fast track our legislation. Within 2 to 3 weeks, we'll pass the sanctuary city law, and it will have teeth in it.
But how specifically will you handle that? I mean, that's a sheriff in the city of Austin.
Well, they get state funding. And we will hold state funding. I know the governor and our office, we're looking right now on all funds that go into that city. And in some of our cities in the state, it's significant amount of money that they need. We will hold their funds if they do not follow the law. And then I believe President Trump will hold federal funds. And at some point, if you do not follow the law, you may find yourself in trouble with the law. Look, all we're asking is for these sheriffs to hold the criminals that are terrorizing our cities. And any sheriff that doesn't want to do that is putting our citizens at danger and at risk. And if those citizens are hurt, they're going to be held responsible.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Sam.